Netanyahu, scheduled to meet. Trump tomorrow for Gaza ceasefire. Phase 2 talks. Benjamin Netanyahu is preparing to board a flight to Palm Beach tonight, knowing that tomorrow's meeting at Mar-a-Lago could be the most consequential conversation of his career. The Israeli Prime Minister is traveling to Florida on December 29, 2025, tomorrow, for what may prove to be critical negotiations with President Trump over the future of the Gaza ceasefire. As his delegation completes preparations, the weight of responsibility is palpable. Failure would mean continued warfare. Success would mean Palestinian self-governance and Israeli security arrangements. The stakes have never been higher. Israel's war in Gaza began on October 7, 2023, after Hamas launched a devastating surprise attack killing over 1,000 Israelis. Israel responded with overwhelming military force, airstrikes, ground invasions, siege tactics that devastated Gaza's population and infrastructure over the following 15 months. Phase 1 of the ceasefire, negotiated in December 2024, achieved temporary humanitarian relief. Aid flowed in, hostages were released, intense fighting halted. But Phase 1 was always intended as temporary. Phase 2 represents the hard part, permanent peace arrangements that would reshape the region fundamentally. The Phase 2 framework, developed by Trump's team including envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, envisions a Palestinian technocratic government managing Gaza's administration and reconstruction. International peacekeeping forces, a proposed international stabilization force, would oversee Israeli troop withdrawal and enforce demilitarization to prevent Hamas reconstitution. Trump plans to establish a board of peace chaired by himself that would coordinate reconstruction funding and governance decisions. The framework promises a pathway from conflict to peace within 18 months, an ambitious target that will be tested when Netanyahu arrives tomorrow. But significant obstacles loom before tomorrow's meeting begins. Netanyahu has publicly expressed doubts about demilitarization provisions. He fears Hamas would use any ceasefire window to rebuild its military capacity. White House officials have leaked frustration that Netanyahu is deliberately delaying negotiations, conducting military operations that violate the ceasefire spirit and undermining peace momentum. One senior official told reporters Netanyahu had lost support among Trump's advisors, retaining backing only from Trump personally. International mediators, Egypt, Qatar, Turkey, have expressed concern that without Israeli commitment, the ceasefire will collapse into renewed warfare when Phase 2 negotiations begin tomorrow. Why does this matter? Gaza's 2.3 million people have endured 15 months of warfare that killed tens of thousands and displaced hundreds of thousands. Reconstruction would require years. Psychological trauma would persist for generations. For Israel, permanent peace creates security that military occupation cannot guarantee indefinitely. For the region, Gaza's stability affects Lebanon, Syria, Egypt, and Palestinian communities across the West Bank. For Trump, the Gaza deal represents an opportunity for a foreign policy achievement before his presidency faces other international crises. But success requires both Israeli and Palestinian consent, and Netanyahu's hesitation suggests that achieving consensus may prove impossible. Will Trump pressure Netanyahu toward compromise when they meet tomorrow? Or will he accommodate Israeli security concerns at Palestinian expense, fundamentally undermining the peace framework? The Mar-a-Lago meeting, scheduled for December 29th, will provide answers that determine whether Gaza's civilians experience peace or whether the ceasefire collapses into renewed conflict. The world is watching, and the window for peacemaking is narrowing.